Well, g'day, Pauline. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Peter, for having me on.
That's all right. Now, this is a very different conversation than I'm used to having,
I'm sure.
especially on my show. So can you just tell us a little bit about, say the clients that you work with, and we'll go from there.
Okay, great. So I work as an intimacy and sexuality coach, educator and healer. And I work with a real cross-section of clients. It's mainly people that have some sort of challenge in their area around intimacy and sex. Or alternatively, it can be clients that want to deepen their intimate relationships and take their relationships to a deeper level. So wanting to learn things that we obviously aren't educated very well in sex. So sometimes it's people just looking for new additions that they can bring into their lives. But I also work with people that have different sorts of challenges.
Okay, could you talk a bit about, say, typically, well, typically, I mean, you wouldn't have typical clients, but...
No, they're very varied.
Yeah,
I could give you some examples, if you like, of some of the clients I'm seeing at the moment.
Yeah, just some classic experiences that you have, like the problems that you kind of help people overcome.
Yeah, sure. I'm working with a young man at the moment who has premature ejaculation challenges, and he is so stressed out about having sex. And so we're working on that and having really good results, having very interesting conversations, of course. So really helping him with that. I've got a woman that I'm working with at the moment that has not been able to experience orgasms. So I work with mindset, and I work with exercises and breath. And if they're in the same location as me, I do body work and do energy healing with them as well. So I'm working with her in those areas so that she can actually experience that. I've got another client, woman who's absolutely terrified of sex. She would be in her 40s. Who else am I seeing at the moment? A lady that's been sexually abused from the very young ages. And so just doing work with her around her sexuality to help her get in touch with her sexuality and to also release some of that trauma that she's still holding.
Okay, so it is varied and very sensitive sort of subject, Yeah,
it is. It's very sensitive, and feel very blessed that they trust me to share that information with. But at the same time, I see great results. The lady that I saw last week, I'm seeing her again this afternoon. We had an amazing session. She's did some work on it maybe 10 years ago, a couple of sessions with somebody. But that's really not enough work to shift what she's carrying around the sexual abuse. And I started doing some NLP processes with her, and in the middle of it, I get guided because I have my guides, and they were yelling at me to get her on the table, which I ended up doing, and did some healing work with her, and it was just so powerful. It was fantastic. And afterwards, she's just, sat there and said, "Wow, I just feel so free." So that's what makes my heart sing.
Yeah. So with the sort of clients that you have, what are the processes? How are you actually helping them? Is it like one-on-one? Are you doing sort of group? Is there group things involved with this, or is it always very one-on-one intimate?
At the moment, these are one-on-one. I am going to be doing some workshops in the new year, so looking at how it can be a bit more of a general sort of interest type thing that can appeal to men and women. I am running at the moment some breath classes for women. I've got about 4 women. I've got a 5th woman joining us next week. And these breath classes are around working with your breath to actually raise your sexual energy. And that's one thing I'm very passionate about, is raising sexual energy or sexual vibration, or I guess, another term you could use it as your libido. So there's plenty of things that you can do to increase all of those areas, and so I work a lot with that. So this class is actually based around that. So I have all these women doing ecstatic breath, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned something just a bit before about the trust. Now, that's got to be a major thing when someone's revealing stuff that, the most intimate stuff that you can sort of reveal to someone. Like, how do you, I don't know, how would you say this? How do you create a situation where there are really deep levels of trust, so that the more they reveal, the more you can sort of help them, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly
what's
right.
behind that for you? So, because and also I'm thinking sort of in terms of people in business, it's kind of really it's no different. You really, the people you're working with, you want to be able to trust them. So this is like really a human thing that we're dealing with. So how do you work with that?
I think people just are attracted to me on an energetic level, which might sound a bit woo-woo and a bit out there, but I believe it's quite true. And they get a sense that I am okay to talk to. And once we start talking, because I guess I'm so matter of fact and so casual about it, I'll just ask questions, which if you're not comfortable in those areas, it's going to come across that way. So I'm very comfortable asking the questions, and I think that just automatically puts people at ease. And it's amazing, how much people divulge to me very quickly, even if it's just on a phone call before they've even been, signed on to be a client. So I think it's just that I do have a very friendly and natural way about me, but it's also about that building rapport, which we all learn in NLP of how to do that. And I don't know, people just seem to feel comfortable enough to be able to share those things. So yeah.
So is it? Some of it's kind of just naturally, you're probably drawn to that kind of work because you're naturally that way. And is some of it been learnt
from myself?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, certainly rapport, creating rapport has definitely been learnt through all the NLP training, mirror matching, that sort of thing, which I probably do automatically anyway. But I think it's just that natural ease that it's I'm the person that you would come and talk to, and so people just feel really comfortable opening up to me. Sometimes I might get a little bit of a giggle going on with some of the things that they're talking about, and I've had some interesting discussions where I'm going, well, I can't really believe, where we both sit there going, well, that was an interesting conversation when I'm teaching a man how to masturbate, or in doing it in a different way. So it's just, I guess, mainly I think that I'm comfortable with it, and that then makes them comfortable with it.
Okay. And so what were you doing just before? Yeah, this is probably a dangerous question for me in this situation. What were you doing just before we had this interview and I interrupted you? Because that's what I'm asking everyone, but yeah.
Well,
I'm nervous.
You're nervous. Don't be nervous. Take a deep breath now. Just breathe in and let it go. No, it's very innocent what I was doing beforehand. I've actually just finished writing a hypnosis script for my male client who's interstate, and I'm going to work with him this afternoon around that. And so that's what I was just literally finishing up working on when I spoke to you.
Okay.
And just prepping and getting ready for my other two clients this afternoon.
Okay. And so, and just so you know, guys, she's kind of looking around all over the place because she can't actually see me on the video. She's got some troubles with the computer, and this is all on her iPhone. So we've kind of, it is literally a day in the life of, and this is kind of how it happened. Right. So where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you? Okay, well, I'm on Facebook, Pauline Ryeland, and my business name is healthypassionateliving.com. So that's the website, and I also have a Facebook page as well. Okay, could you spell your last name? Just so yes. I'll actually spell your whole name just so people can look you up on Facebook. It's Pauline, Pauline, Ryeland, Ryeland, and it's healthypassionateliving.com. Excellent. Okay, guys. Well, you know where to go. I think you would know certainly if this person is a match for you or not. There's no mistake about that. That's all right, Pauline, it's been a very interesting conversation. I was looking forward to this one, and I was just wondering where it was going to end up, and it turned out great. You've been a great guest. Thanks so much. Okay, thank you, Peter. Bye-bye.